Hey crafters, I'm Devin of All of an Apron, and in this tutorial I'm going to share how to create a double diamond macrame keychain using a D-ring keychain. This is a great beginner project because it's fairly quick and simple to follow, so let's get started. Okay, first let's talk about some supplies. You'll want to get a comb and brush to use to comb out the tassels at the end. You can get those on Amazon. Decent pair of sharp scissors is good. I also like to use washi tape in my project to help hold the piece down. And then you want a D-ring keychain hook. You can get these in different colors on Amazon, but the flat surface makes it really easy to use. Then comes your macrame cord. In this you're going to want to have color that you want to use for this project. I have 3 different colors I'm going to start with, but in this particular project I'm going to be using the green. You can find tons of colors on Amazon for about $8 a roll. I'll link everything in the descriptions below. To start, you're going to want to measure out your cord, and what I used was 3 cords of about 48 to 50 inches long. It doesn't really matter too much. I feel like I had a lot of extra when I did this, but as a new project, it's sometimes good to have a little extra so you have room to play and wiggle around if you mess up a little bit. Along with that, you're going to want to grab a 16-inch cord, and we're going to use this at the very end to tie and finish off the project. So just cut the cord now and then save it for later. You're going to want to grab your D-ring keychain, and then I have this twine. It's kind of like a paper material. I had it left over from Christmas, so I thought it would be useful to use here. And I just slipped it through the top, and this is when I bring my washi tape in to use to help tape it down to the surface. And it really helped keep the piece pretty in place during this project time. I tried a few other methods, and for me this one worked really well as a budget-friendly version. There are mats and things you can use, but if you're just wanting to try it and not commit to this as a lifetime hobby or something, this is a really good option. So as you can see, that's pretty securely in place. Now you can start by grabbing one of your 3 cords, and to start this you always want to take the 2 ends and bring them together and then find the middle. The middle is going to be what you use to create your first knot, which is a lark's head knot. This is a pretty basic starting knot for all macrame projects. So you're going to put the loop through from the top and then grab the other 2 cords and pull them through the little loop that you created to create your first knot. You just securely pull tight, and you're going to do this again 3 times with each cord you have. So then you're going to want to grab your second cord and do the same thing. Put the loop through the top, bring it around, and then put your fingers in through the loop and pull the cord all the way through. Pull tight, and that's your second knot. This is just another close-up view of doing your third lark's head knot. At the end of this tying, you're going to have 3 lark's head knots, and you're going to have 6 cords to use to macrame throughout your project. So once you have your cords in place, you want to spread them out so you can see them all. And we're going to start with our first double half hitch knot. You're going to grab the 3rd cord from the right and cross it over the 3rd cord from the left, bring the 3rd cord from the left up and over the 3rd cord from the right. And what I like to do here is hold on tight to the filler cord, which is the one you first picked up, and pull the other cord up and over and try to keep the filler cord tight and pull the knot part up. That helps kind of keep that loop in place. This was done with a lot of trial and error when I was trying to do this, because if I just tied a knot, it looked just like a knot. But if I kept the loop kind of separated from the filler cord and pulled it up and tight, it kind of helped keep that nice little loop going. So just always remember which one's which. It can get a little confusing as you go through, but just take your time. And the best thing about macrame is if you mess up, you can just start over and take the knots out. So you're going to do that loop 3 times on this first cord. After that, you're going to do it twice. So with the same filler cord, grab the next cord on the left and do the same thing. Wrap it over the filler cord and pull tight. You will do this double half hitch knot on this cord 2 times. Sometimes the knots don't look quite the way you expect, so it's okay to try again, loosen it up, do it over. Trust me, on these keychains I had to do it a couple times myself. It just is part of the process, especially if I get distracted while I'm doing it. But always your filler cord is the same cord the entire time you're doing this one knot all the way to the left. So once again, grab the far left cord and pull it up and over your filler cord and pull tight, and do this one 2 times as well. So you've done your first row going to the left, and your piece should look somewhat like this. And then you're going to start going down on the right side. So you're going to start again with the third cord from the left, and you're going to take the second cord from the left and bring it up and over the first one you picked up, which is now going to be your new filler cord, moving yourself down to the right. For some reason, when I go from left to right, the directions of things kind of feel wonky, and it's just retraining my brain. The more you do it, the more it becomes more natural, but it's just weird at first. So just know that that's a normal feeling when you start. So you're going to do 2 half hitch knots going to the right on this cord, and then holding the same filler cord, you're going to grab the cord to the far right, bring that under and over your cord, your filler cord, and then you're going to pull tight. So once you've done your 2 double half hitch knots going to the right, your piece should somewhat look like this, with 2 center pieces down and then 2 sort of loopy pieces on either side. And then you're going to create a square knot. So just like tying your shoe, grab those 2 pieces, put one over the other and tighten it straight, and do that 2 times as well. Once those are tied, you're going to do another double half hitch knot going to the right. So again, grab the third cord in from the right and the third cord in from the left, and make a double half hitch knot with those 2 cords, and then do it twice, and then grab the second cord from the right, do that one twice, and then the third cord from the right and do that one twice. You're basically creating that double diamond effect. As you can see on the right, there's 2 rows that come down. You're currently working on that second row coming down. Now you're going to use the third cord from the left and use it as the filler cord, and then tie 2 double half hitch knots going down and to the left. Now we're going to use the 4 center cords to make a square knot. To do this, we're going to make a 4 starting with the left cord, place it over the 2 middle cords, take the right cord, bring it up and over. When you do this, it gives you a 4 shape, and that's how you know you did it right. When you put the cord underneath, you pull it through the loop on the left, and then you're going to pull tight, and that's going to be the first part of your square knot. And then you're going to want to hold down the 2 middle cords if you can, and pull the 2 loose ends nice and tight, and that'll give you first part of your square knot. You're going to do the same thing in reverse. So you're going to do a backwards 4 using your right cord, pull it up and over, and then the left cord up and over that cord, and then use that cord to pull through the loop that's on the right. And you're going to tighten it again, and that's your square knot. Now you're going to use the far left cord as the filler cord, and you're going to start to tie 2 double half hitch knots going back down and towards the right. Just as a beginner tip, once I'm done tying my last knot, I like to lay out all of the cords as they fall naturally to help me see where I need to go next. Now we're going to use the far right cord as the filler cord, and we're going to tie 3 double half hitch knots going down and to the left. Once you've tied your last knot, this will connect the 2 rows to create that diamond shape. So for this part, this is just showing you how those 2 middle pieces aren't connected yet, so you still need to do a double half hitch knot to get that final diamond shape and to connect those 2 pieces together. Using the same filler cord that you were using before, you're going to use the far left cord to make double half hitch knots going down and to the left, continuing that row. You'll see here that I always get confused when I'm switching sides which way the knot needs to go. So right here I'm like, wait, left, right, left, right. So I had to mess with the knot a little bit, but basically you want to continue that row down, so you might need to adjust to make sure that the direction of the knot you're pulling is going the right way. If your knots never look right when you're pulling them, just try readjusting. This happens to me a lot when I'm doing a new macrame project because it's not something I do all the time. So just kind of mess around until you see the knot kind of going the right direction, or pull it out and start over. Now that that row is completed, you'll see the remaining cords sort of fanning out from that bottom row, and then you'll start on the next step. Now you're going to use the third cord from the right as your filler cord, and then the far right cord as your working cord. This is the top of the next diamond going down to the right. You can see how it's connecting to the line above. So you're just going to work your way across and get this top row done. Once your last knot is tied, make sure you spread out all of the hanging cords so that they're nice and even and flat so you can do the next step. Now we're going to do the square knot that goes in the center of the diamond. So just like we did before in the previous step, we're going to do a 4 shape, tie that tight, and then do a reverse 4 going the other direction, and then you'll have a square knot. Once again, just like we did before, we're going to use the far left cord as our filler cord, and we're going to do another double 1/2 inch knot going down towards the right. And then again, we're going to use the far right cord and use that as the filler cord and do 3 double 1/2 hitch knots going down towards the left. This will connect the 2 sides of the diamond, just like we did above. So this part is going to be a little bit different than before. So we're going to do, using the far left cord as a filler cord, we're going to tie only 1 double 1/2 hitch knot going down into the right. So this is where it's a little different than before. We're going to take both of the left two cords, which is our previous working and filler cord. We're going to keep those together, and we're going to take the next cord over and we're going to wrap it around and pull through, and we're going to do a double half hitch knot with these two cords as our filler cord, and the other cord is our working cord. So this will help tie off the end and make it come down into a nice little point. As you see on the right example, it's just a nice way to tie off and finish off this piece. Then using the far right cord, we're going to do one double hitch knot on the right side coming down to the left, and then we're going to do and then reverse of what we just did. We're going to use the far two right cords as our filler cord, and then the next cord over as our working cord, and we're going to pull through and do a double half hitch knot going down to the left. So at the final piece, the pattern actually says to do a double hitch knot here. I don't know why I decided to do sort of a square knot, but I did. So make your choice. You could do either one. They both work because essentially this part gets wrapped up anyways, so it didn't really matter too much. So now we're going to use the last 16-inch piece that you cut earlier and set aside. We're going to put this on the back side of the keychain. I flipped my keychain around here. Just put one end in the middle of the back, and then make sort of like a U shape with the string and pull it back up. I essentially try to like grab those pieces and then use whatever was remaining of that 16-inch and wrap it around. Just take your time here, and I always kind of like line up the next piece past the next piece, so it just kind of has like a nice little pattern, I guess, wrapping it around the remaining cords. And once you get towards the end, you're going to want to put your fingers through the loop and pull through the remaining cord at the end of the wrapping, and you're going to pull the top cord from the very top, and you're going to pull that through. You want to make sure that you're holding both ends so that it wraps and pulls in, but you're going to pull kind of pretty hard, but not too hard because you don't want to pull all the way through, but just enough. There's going to be some tension to pull it right in and kind of into the middle of that wrapping, and it basically hides the cord. It's a really nice way to finish off the piece. And then you're going to just trim off the excess cord that's left. And then I use the tip of my scissors to push the little tiny bits that were still there in, so it just looks really finished off. So this is the final step. All you need to do is cut to the desired length, and once you've cut off the remaining cord, this is when I bring in my comb and my brush, work out the cords so that they're loose little brushed pieces like the one on the right. I can take a little bit of time to get it where you want, so I'm going to speed up here a little bit. It is a little bit of an effort to get this where you want it. Once it's combed out, I go get my brush and I just kind of soften it a little bit more with the brush. I'll take my scissors and I'll trim off any little excess and kind of straighten up the edge a little bit more, because once it's brushed out, the ends are a little bit jagged. So this just helps really clean it up. And there you go. That's the tutorial for beginners on how to make a double diamond macrame keychain. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please remember to like and share this tutorial and leave any questions you have in the comments. If you do this project, please tag me on Instagram at @oliveandapron. See you next time.